going real quick. I just want to say, because, we're probably going to run to the end. We're all introduced to Jesus or to God in many different ways, right? And that's not just the church, of course. It's all of God's family. We all come to God in almost in a very unique way. Some of you in this class, probably like Karen, I know did, grew up going to church. You had a family that went to church. Got you up, it was not an option. You went to church Sunday. And so that's one way, and that's a good way. I didn't have that. Some come to Jesus through friends. They're invited to Vacation Bible School, for example, or whatever. Some come to Jesus through accidents, tragic accidents, given my case. And then sometimes we come to Jesus after we hit rock bottom. Okay. Sometimes we can help that. Sometimes it's choices that we make, right? And that choice that we make, some of those choices puts us in a very dark place until you just can't go on anymore. It breaks you, or you either you don't make it. But the important part is that we're all the same. We're all the same today. We're God's children, and we're forgiven. Okay? No matter what we've done, no matter what's in our past. And I've done more things than I would ever admit and tell you guys about, that you guys wouldn't even think about, most of you. So, God is good, and He's patient. And I thank Him for that, because He could have given up on me a long, long time ago, and He had the right to. So He loves us, and He pursues us. So the important part we're here as God's children. So with that, I'm going to turn over to Dennis. Karen and I met Dennis when we were, our class first started dealing with Home of the Heart when Miriam was here. And then after that ended, we stayed friends, and Dennis came and lived here in Easley, where we had a house, and he stayed there in a job, and we became great friends, and we love him dearly. And of course, since he went through Home of the Heart, he has met Margot, and they're married. Dennis is I'm so proud of him, and I never will forget it. And I'll turn it over to you, Dennis. When we walk in the Home of the Heart, like we used to every week, just to go say hi to the guys or visit a service that they did after dinner. I never will forget, right when you go in the place, there's a little bench out front, and Dennis was sitting on the bench by himself, and we'd go walking by, and he was new there, and he just the biggest smile you've ever seen. Hey, how y'all doing? And we just immediately took to Dennis, and we love him, and I'm so proud of him.
And we do have to tell that he had a nickname while he was at home.
They gave him a nickname, which I love. They called him Billy Goat.
He just had a goatee at that time.
And at that time, he looked a lot like a Billy Goat.
A little bit scruffy goatee. A scruffy goatee. So.
But anyway, Dennis, thank you for coming and just speak from your heart and let us know what Jesus has done for you.
Well, for those of y'all that don't really know me, like Dale said, we met 5 years ago, 2019 in July. And, I'm not real good at speaking in front of a crowd, but I'm going to give it my best. God's good, He really is. He got me up this morning, He gets me up every day. His grace and mercy new every day. I grew up in church, and I'll tell you a little bit about myself. As a kid, my parents, they divorced when I was like 7 years old. And, just one thing led to another. We stayed with our mom, and things got kind of rough. But my mom, I'll just be honest with y'all, we got drug from drug house to drug house. I mean, actually drugs, you know, that's what I grew up in. Between that and church, you know, so it was a balance between drugs and church, you know, as a kid now. And as I got older, I went my own way and started doing drugs myself. And like Dale said, it'll take you further than you want to go, and it'll keep you longer than you want to stay. But like I say, y'all, God's good, and he really is, because he could have took me out here a long time ago.
That's right.
In 2000, I want to say about the end of 16, beginning of 17, I wound up with an enlarged heart. I had fluid all over me. My legs, they swelled up so big I couldn't hardly walk. I couldn't breathe. I was in and out of the hospitals. And I still didn't want to give up drugs. I was hard-headed, and I was dumb. And I kept on, you know, I kept fighting it. They told me if I didn't quit drugs, I was gonna die. And I didn't.